The Amazon rainforest is not just a forest, it is the beating heart of our planet. Spanning 9 countries in South America, it covers over 5.5 million square kilometers of dense jungle. Hidden beneath its green roof are millions of mysterious creatures, many still unknown to science. This is where rivers are born, where life began, where ancient rhythms still shape the world. More than 10% of all species on Earth call this place home. Life here breathes in every direction. But this paradise is also fragile, threatened by deforestation, mining, and the relentless expansion of man. Beneath its beauty lies a silent cry. The Amazon is vanishing faster than we can protect it. And yet, it still breathes. It still resists, wild, wounded, but unbroken. This forest is a sanctuary, a battleground, a cradle of life untouched by time. Deep in South America, the Amazon rainforest breathes with life, lush, mysterious, and endlessly alive. Towering trees stretch toward the sky as parrots shriek, monkeys leap, and leaves shimmer under the midday sun. Afternoon arrives. The forest hums softly, but there's tension in the stillness, like something's about to shift. Thunder growls, storm clouds gather. The Amazon prepares for its daily ritual, the downpour. Rain slams the jungle in waves. Every leaf, every creature is drenched in nature's wild, rhythmic symphony. As the storm fades, twilight sets in, painting the jungle gold, then deep violet. Shadows stretch across the forest floor. Then darkness falls. The jungle changes face. The day's creatures vanish. The night's hunters awaken. And from the underworld of roots and soil, a shadow stirs. 8-legged, silent, deadly, the tarantula emerges. With perfect patience, it prowls the night. Every vibration is a signal. Tonight, the hunter claims the dark. In the thick veil of Amazonian darkness, the jungle holds its breath, still, tense, alive. Every leaf glistens with rain. Silence pulses like a heartbeat. Something deadly waits beneath the roots. Beneath the tangled floor, a giant tarantula lies still, 8 legs hugging the earth, hairs sensing every vibration. A rodent scurries close, nose twitching, unaware that death crawls inches from its path. The tarantula moves, one leg, then another. No sound, no warning, only deadly precision. With terrifying speed, it strikes. Fangs pierce. The mouse twitches. Then, stillness. A heartbeat gone. Hidden beneath rotting leaves, deep crevices, and hollow trunks lies one of nature's most haunting predators. The giant tarantula, cloaked in shadows, covered in thick hairs, boasts fangs like claws and a 12-inch leg span. Unlike other spiders, it doesn't weave webs. It waits, perfectly still, a master of ambush and silence. Tiny hairs on its legs detect the faintest tremble, signals from prey moving meters away in the darkness. When the moment strikes, it lunges with terrifying speed. No chance to flee, no sound but the end. Its venom, harmless to humans, paralyzes insects, reptiles, even baby birds and mice. The jungle's balance depends on it. Living alone, every tarantula plays a vital role, controlling pest populations in a relentless ecosystem. The Goliath bird eater, largest spider on Earth, can live up to 20 years under ideal conditions. Feared by many, but monstrous to none, it is silent, patient, resilient. Nature's dark perfection in 8 legs. Molting is one of the most fragile, magical moments in a tarantula's life, growth wrapped in risk. To grow, it must escape its old shell, an armored cage too tight for a body still expanding. Slowly, leg by leg, it pulls free, trembling, soft, and exposed to every danger in the jungle. For hours it cannot run or fight. It can only hide, praying not to be seen or eaten. But if it survives, stronger, larger, armored once more, it rises to face the wild all over again. When mating season arrives, the male tarantula leaves his burrow, drawn by instinct and the scent of fate. He follows the pheromone trail left by a female, every step cautious, every vibration analyzed. One wrong move could cost him everything. His mate might accept or devour him alive. He approaches her lair. The tension is electric. He taps the ground with his legs, carefully, rhythmically. It's a message, one only another tarantula can understand, a signal of intent, not threat. If she accepts, the dance begins, silent, calculated, and dangerous, a ritual of both risk and reward. In a swift moment, mating takes place. No sound, no violence, just instinct and timing. He wastes no time. The male vanishes into the night, his mission complete, his life spared. The female stays behind, guarding the precious burden now forming inside her. In the days that follow, she constructs an egg sac, sealing it deep inside the safety of her chamber. She won't hunt, she won't leave. Her role now is to protect at any cost. Then one morning, the sac moves. Tiny legs twitch, dozens of new lives begin to stir. One by one, fragile spiderlings crawl out, pale, delicate, but alive and brimming with potential. They don't look back. The jungle awaits, and instinct leads the way. From silence and shadow, the tarantula's next generation takes its first steps into a wild world. And behind them, the mother waits in darkness, her legacy now walking on hundreds of tiny legs. The jungle at dusk hums with secrets. Beneath the leaves, a tarantula crawls into the open. It's hungry, it's hunting, but the predator is not alone. Danger slithers through the shadows. A soft hiss pierces the quiet. The tarantula freezes. That sound doesn't belong to prey. A venomous viper, small, fast, lethal, eyes the spider's movement and begins to close in. The tarantula reacts instantly, retreating into its burrow, disappearing into the narrow black tunnel. But the snake doesn't stop. It slithers forward, hungry and confident, right to the tunnel's mouth. One step too far, the viper dips into the dark, not knowing it just entered the spider's world. Inside, the tarantula waits, legs poised, fangs raised, perfectly still. It's no longer running. As the snake advances, the tarantula explodes forward, full speed, no warning. Fangs pierce flesh, the snake thrashes, the tunnel fills with violence and dust. Bite for bite, muscle against precision, but the spider does not let go. Then, silence. The snake's body slumps. Poison has done its work. The hunter has become the hunted. The tarantula wraps its legs around the lifeless viper. The victor claims its prize. No fanfare, no audience, just instinct, just survival. Inside, the feast begins. Slowly, silently, a predator feeds on another. Its fangs don't chew, they liquefy. Flesh dissolves. Every drop is drawn in. The tarantula eats for hours, alone, unseen, beneath a world that never notices. Above, night falls. Below, the victor sleeps, sated, alive, still hidden. In the jungle, death is quiet. No warning, no mercy, only instinct. This isn't a story of heroes. It's a lesson written in venom and fangs. And in that darkness, the tarantula rules, not by strength, but by timing. Nature doesn't reward beauty, it rewards strategy and survival. One tunnel, two predators, one survivor, and a jungle that keeps no memory of either. Deep in the Amazon, a lone grasshopper freezes, sensing death crawling toward it from the jungle floor. Thousands of army ants pour forward like a black tide, flooding the forest floor with unstoppable precision. A giant caterpillar writhes, caught in the swarm. Its soft body is no match for their cutting jaws. Nearby, a scorpion fights back, snapping its claws, but the ants overwhelm it in seconds. The grasshopper leaps, hoping to escape, but it lands in the wrong place, right in the middle of the swarm. Piece by piece, the victims are dismantled, turned into cargo, and dragged back into the shadows. This is nature's execution squad. No venom, no mercy, just numbers, discipline, and raw power. In the Amazon, death doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it marches on 6 legs. An invisible army marches, blind, homeless, and hungry for the flesh of the jungle. These are army ants, Etziton burchelli, the executioners of the forest floor, feared by all who crawl. They don't build nests. They don't stay still. Every night, they form living bivouacs with their own bodies. At the core lies the queen, surrounded by thousands of loyal workers and soldiers guarding the next generation. By dawn, they're on the move, hundreds of thousands marching in unison to hunt, devour, and disappear. Their strength lies not in venom or size, but in numbers, coordination, and relentless precision. A giant caterpillar writhes helplessly, its soft flesh no match for the ant's razor-sharp jaws. Even a scorpion, fierce and armored, cannot resist the tide. It's dismantled claw by claw. A grasshopper leaps, but lands in the wrong place, vanishing beneath a sea of snapping jaws. Their prey is reduced to fragments, legs, wings, flesh, all carried back into the shadows. The jungle clears a path when they arrive. Birds flee, mammals hide, and silence follows. Some creatures follow them, like assassin birds, feeding on the chaos they leave behind. Army ants shape the entire ecosystem. Their rampage controls pest populations and recycles life. They leave nothing behind, not because they hate, because they must survive, and survival is merciless. They see nothing, they feel everything. They move as one, think as many, and strike like a machine. With no single brain, no single leader, they function with terrifying efficiency and perfect instinct. In the Amazon, fear doesn't always roar. Sometimes it marches quietly, on 6 tiny legs. Army ants, the silent killers beneath the green canopy. This isn't a walk, it's an invasion, hundreds of thousands moving as one, without eyes, without hesitation. They march over roots, mud, and stone, unstoppable, their formation adapting to everything in their way. Each morning, the swarm collapses its living fortress and sets off again, hungry for new ground. No creature dares linger. Anything that moves too slowly is instantly surrounded, attacked, and devoured. At the front, workers lead the charge. On the sides, soldier ants stand ready to strike. In the rear, ants carry eggs, larvae, and even their wounded, because no one is left behind. They don't stop for rest. They stop only to rebuild themselves into another breathing, twitching fortress. Inside, the queen waits, never marching, but always protected at the very center of the swarm. This is nature's most efficient army, relentless, unified, and driven by survival alone. In the jungle, some predators roar. These ones simply march. A lone black scorpion creeps through the jungle floor, claws raised, tail curled like a drawn dagger. But the ground begins to shift. Thousands of army ants flood in, a living tide of precision and hunger. The scorpion attacks, snapping, striking, fighting, but it's too late. The swarm has already begun to climb. Ants bite into soft tissue, bypassing the armored shell. The predator starts to tremble, then collapses. Within minutes, its body disappears, torn apart, piece by piece, and carried into the forest shadows. In the Amazon, even killers can become prey, and the army ants never leave a meal unfinished. Moments ago, this centipede ruled the forest floor. Now, it's just cargo in an ant army's supply chain. Ants tear it apart with surgical precision. Legs, shell, and flesh turned into pieces of a vanishing corpse. In this forest, nothing is wasted, not even a predator, especially not one as rich in protein as this. Deep in the Amazon, a grasshopper freezes, its eyes locked on a black tide moving across the jungle floor. With a sudden leap, it launches into the air, but the swarm is faster, already surrounding its landing point. Army ants strike like living blades, biting into legs, wings, and joints with mechanical precision. The grasshopper kicks violently, sending ants flying, trying to break free, but they keep coming. A leg tears off, blood oozes from its abdomen. Still, it rolls, it kicks, it refuses to surrender. Every instinct screams survival. It crawls through the swarm, dragging itself with raw, desperate strength. But for every step, 10 more ants arrive, unyielding, cold, efficient in their mission to dismantle life. The jungle watches in silence. No allies, no rescue. Only instinct versus inevitability. The grasshopper gives one final lurch, then stillness. The swarm consumes it without pause or pity. In the Amazon, survival is brutal, and even those who leap the highest can still fall. The feeding frenzy ends, the jungle grows quiet, but one black river continues to flow across the forest floor. Army ants don't linger. Even after a kill, they move forward, driven by instinct, not satisfaction. Step by step, they vanish into the undergrowth, over roots, across stones, beneath the damp canopy. Soldier ants patrol the edges, jaws wide, ready to strike at any threat. They are the first line and the last. Each ant knows its role. Some lead, some carry eggs, others guard, and some drag their injured. Time passes. The swarm presses forward like a living algorithm, calm, efficient, unstoppable. Then they find it, a hollow tree trunk, dark and deep, shielded by moss and roots, a natural fortress. Without pause, the swarm pivots. The line flows inward, pouring into the hollow like liquid. Inside, the first layer builds, a tangle of limbs and bodies interlocked to form a living wall. They build upward, outward, layer by layer, creating the bivouac, a temporary nest made entirely of ants. The queen is placed at the center. Around her, warmth, darkness, and tens of thousands of loyal workers. From the outside, nothing seems unusual, but inside, the colony breathes, alive, alert, and untouchable. No enemy would guess, no predator would dare. This is more than a shelter. It's a shield of pure instinct. As night falls, the jungle slows, but the ants remain connected, still yet ready to strike again. Each ant rests in place, forming part of a structure that holds and guards an entire empire. No words, no orders, just ancient rhythm and perfect unity in every twitch, every breath. In this fortress of flesh, silence means safety, and dawn brings the promise of another relentless march. The bivouac may vanish tomorrow, but tonight it is home, sacred and hidden from the eyes of the world. Army ants, nature's most disciplined force, building fortresses one body at a time. From high above, the Amazon reveals itself as a vast green ocean stretching endlessly to the horizon. Silver rivers snake through the dense trees like shimmering blades, reflecting the blinding Amazonian sunlight. The canopy is a living maze, every leaf hiding creatures in a delicate, invisible web of survival. Each bush, each branch holds a secret: frogs, insects, predators locked in silent competition for life. Ghostly clouds drift slowly above, veiling the jungle like ancient spirits guarding sacred ground. It's a scene both majestic and still, so alive, yet so silently powerful in its mystery. In the murky waters of the Amazon, a giant otter glides like a living arrow, fast, focused, silent. Its sharp eyes scan river plants and rocks. Every ripple could mean prey or predator. In a split second, the otter explodes upward, clamping down on a panicked, writhing fish. Excited shrieks echo from the distance. Its family rushes in, drawn by the thrill of the hunt. In moments, they form a circle, each member taking bites of the hard-earned reward. Water flies, teeth snap, voices rise. This is nature's feast, wild and pure in every bite. The giant otters feast mid-river, sharp teeth ripping fresh catch beneath the thick jungle sky. But then, a slip. A piece of meat tumbles into the river, vanishing into the dark below. Blood leaks like ink into the current. The river smells it, and so do the piranhas. In a flash, razor-jawed piranhas swarm the sinking flesh, tearing, spinning, frenzied. But the otters were watching, calculated, calm. Now they move, with speed born of instinct. They strike from all angles, fast, fierce, focused. One piranha doesn't escape. After a thrilling hunt, the giant otters retreat to a massive fallen tree resting across the river. For them, this is more than driftwood. It's a peaceful sanctuary floating between two worlds. Some stretch lazily under golden sunlight that filters gently through the jungle canopy above. Tails thump softly on the bark. Droplets flick as they swat the water below without a care. Beneath them, the younger ones can't resist the cool river. They twist, chase, and leap. Their games explode in bursts. One dives and shoots up like a cork, water erupting around it. One climbs up the roots, flops down, chin resting gently as it watches butterflies float nearby. This moment is rare. No threats, no chase, just breath, warmth, and the lull of the river. One lets out a low snore, while another flicks an ear, responding to a distant bird's song. This is the Amazon's quieter side, the pause between storms, the breath between battles. Here, even predators get to be soft for a while. One slips away, quietly, deliberately, breaking from the group like a ghost beneath the surface. It rises from the water, claws gripping the muddy bank, body glistening under shifting jungle light. No noise, no hesitation. Its eyes scan the dense shoreline like a hunter chasing a silent question. Step by step, it weaves through roots, stones, and fallen branches, guided by instinct. It pokes its snout into holes, lifts logs with its head, always searching, always silent. Perhaps it smells something, or perhaps it feels something deeper. A pull, an urge, an unknown need? The jungle watches, shadows sway, but the otter moves like it belongs to every corner of this world. It stops near a cluster of stones, listening, as if waiting for the forest to whisper back. Nothing, and yet it stays, sensing more than eyes can see or ears can hear. Each movement is measured, each pause deliberate. It is no longer playing, it is exploring. Alone on the jungle path, the otter moves with purpose, until something above catches its eye. A pair of South American coyotes perch on a low branch, snouts twitching, tails curled with curiosity. Beside them, a tara clings to the bark, dark fur shimmering, golden throat patch glowing in sunlight. The otter lets out a sharp bark, loud, bold, and meant to intimidate. But the trio doesn't budge. They stare back, calm, unimpressed, unmoved. Seconds pass, the otter growls again, pacing, but still no one leaves. Realizing the bluff won't work, it exhales sharply and turns away. The lone otter walks quietly along the riverbank, unaware that danger is lurking in the shadows. A hunter hides behind the brush, bow drawn, eyes locked, finger tightening on the arrow. The arrow flies, silent, deadly, but the otter reacts in a blur of instinct and motion. It vanishes beneath the surface just in time. The arrow hits nothing but rippling waves. Shaken but alive, the otter swims beneath the current, eyes wide, heart pounding, instinct still buzzing. The river is now its refuge, its shield from the cruelty that hides beyond the tree line. The river is now its refuge, its shield from the cruelty that hides beyond the tree line. A sibling spots it first, then the others turn, chirping wildly as they rush to greet it. They bump heads, twirl tails, and dive in a celebratory storm of movement and sound. The fear is gone, replaced by warmth, by touch, by belonging. The family is whole again. Near the playful otters, something drifts, bloated, still, and bleeding into the current. Blood mixes with the water, curling like ink, an open invitation to the river's most ruthless predators. From the shadows, they arrive, piranhas, fast and furious, with teeth like razors and appetites to match. Flesh tears, bones crack. In seconds, the water churns red. The jungle watches in silence. But they aren't alone. A few yards away, sharp eyes catch the chaos. The otters notice. One leads, the rest follow. The river's true predators are coming. The piranhas, still feeding, sense movement, but it's already too late. Otters strike in bursts, precision, power, coordination. One piranha, then another. The swarm scatters, but there's no escape from the pack. The ambush is over, the river quiets, but something has shifted. Now it's their turn to feast, one piranha per otter, a perfect primal reward. Eyes alert, jaws busy. This is more than a meal. It's survival written in blood and instinct. A meal won, not scavenged, fought for, taken, and claimed. The jungle stays silent, but the water tells a different story. Once feared, now devoured. Even killers become prey. The otters finish their feast, bellies full, eyes still sharp. The feast is over. Bellies full, the giant otters begin to drift into peaceful stillness. Some dive beneath the surface, gliding effortlessly into the cool, murky embrace of the river. Others stay above, bobbing gently, eyes half closed, rocking with the current. One young pup climbs ashore, curls up in a patch of moss, and lets sleep take over. The group spreads out, some exploring, others dreaming, all safe within the rhythm of the river. In the Amazon, even the fiercest hunters need quiet moments to rest and simply be. A curious otter wanders inland alone, weaving through fallen logs and dry leaves, unaware of nearby danger. At the same time, a jaguar strolls silently through the underbrush, powerful, graceful, always alert. They cross paths. Briefly, the otter bolts. The jaguar freezes, its nose twitching with sudden interest. The jaguar lowers its head and sniffs the air. The scent is fresh. The chase is on. The otter races toward the riverbank, paws kicking up dirt, heart pounding beneath its slick fur. It leaps into the water without hesitation, slicing through the surface, vanishing into murky depths. Moments later, the jaguar appears at the shore, ears pricked, eyes sharp, but the water is still. It peers into the current, tasting the air, but there's nothing left to chase. After escaping the jaguar, the otter glides through the river, alert, but still searching for safety. Then, movement, a shadow rests on the bank. It's not feline, it's thicker, heavier, reptilian. The otter climbs ashore, inching closer out of instinct or curiosity. The closer it gets, the clearer it becomes. That snake is too big to mess with. No sudden moves. The otter turns, slips quietly back into the river's protective arms. It swims fast, but with purpose. Its home is near, and the danger is past. A familiar scent leads it back to comfort, back to its family, back to the branch. There they are, curled on a fallen tree, resting, trusting the river to keep watch. It climbs up, nudges a sibling, and settles in, safe, warm, and finally still. In a quiet swamp, a young crocodile rests alone, unaware it's already being watched. The otters close in, graceful, playful, but with the confidence of born predators. The young croc turns, tense and frozen. It knows size isn't on its side today. One otter splashes closer, snapping at the air, just enough to tease. The crocodile snaps, once, twice, but it's surrounded. It tries to retreat, but the otters won't let it. This is a game they always win. Then, it ends. A final strike. The croc is dragged under. The water stills again, except for the swirl of bubbles and the scent of victory. Another feast begins. Each otter tears its share, jaws soaked in crimson. But the swamp offers more. Nearby, a few stranded fish flap helplessly in the mud. The otters notice. In seconds they rush in, swift and merciless. No struggle lasts long. Not here, not with this family. In the Amazon, survival means seizing every moment, every meal before it slips away. In the Amazon, survival means seizing every moment, every meal before it slips away. The water is calm again, but the memory of loss lingers. A mother crocodile approaches. She knows. The scent of her offspring still lingers in the current, and so does the scent of blood. Nearby, the otters play, unaware that vengeance is already moving toward them. Then, something shifts. One otter pauses. Its eyes lock onto the slow shape in the reeds. The crocodile drifts closer, silent, massive, waiting for the right moment. The otters sense it. Game's end. They regroup, tense, alert, circling in shallow water. Predator meets predator, one fueled by instinct, the other by rage. Neither moves. The standoff stretches. Water trembles beneath them. Then, an explosion of motion. The fight begins. One otter dives below, another bites the tail. Two more distract the jaws. The crocodile thrashes, slashing the surface, but they're too fast. Blood blooms again, but this time, it's not from an otter. The mother crocodile weakens, eyes rolling. The pack doesn't stop. She's pulled toward shore, surrounded, overwhelmed. The river goes silent, then the feast begins. One by one, they drag her body into the thick reeds. The victor's prize, not just survival, but domination. The battle is over, the feast complete. Now, the river is theirs again. With full bellies and energy restored, the otters burst into motion, racing along the shore like wild children. One leaps into the water, then another. Suddenly, the entire clan vanishes beneath the surface. Below, they twist and tumble, spinning through the current in a blur of fur and joy. This is more than play. It's bonding, it's memory, it's being alive, together. As the light fades, the energy softens. Even the wildest spirits slow when the sun goes down. One by one, they leave the water, climbing back onto the driftwood they call home. The jungle hums, the river whispers, and the stars begin to rise. Together, they curl up, warm, safe, and full of stories only the river would understand.